TIFU by sending a video without watching it, and now I'm being adopted. So last Thursday night I saw everyone tagging their stepdads in the Budweiser commercial. Without watching it, I sent it to my stepdad. About an hour later my stepdad and mom call me and ask if I'm hinting at something. My stepdaddies, like I know you had intent. I'm like, huh? OMG, in the commercial the adult children are asking their stepdads to adopt them. So he starts crying, thinking I want this. Now I can't tell him that I didn't mean to. Friday he squeezed me so tight and said he wants me take his name and make it official. etc etc. All I can think is, wow, that sounds like a huge hassle. But I can never say anything about it being an accident. So like now I'm being adopted and changing my name. TL/DR sent a Father's Day commercial to my stepdad who is adopting me now. I'm 31. You fucked up, but you made your stepdad very happy. Not all is bad. Agree. But I'm 31, changing my name sounds painful. It's a wholesome mess up lol. Just don't change your name. You can say no to that, you're 31 man. He cried about it, I feel so obligated. He's like a stern non-emotional guy. Maybe his last name as a middle name fulfills the sentiment, but doesn't require all the complexity. I think I'm going to toughen up and tell him I'm not really interested in changing my name. I'm just too old for that at this point. Is he at least a good stepdad? He's okay, we don't have a particularly close relationship, but he has been around for 19 of my 31 years. I'm cool with doing this and keeping my mouth shut because he is so happy about it, I guess. Imagine if he's like, oh Jesus Christ, now I have to act like I'm happy about this, god damn it. That would be seriously ironic. TIFU by telling my 31-year-old stepchild I totally want to adopt their dumbass. I wouldn't change your name at this point. At 31 there are professional implications to changing your name. I've heard that many women with established reputations don't do it, even if they get married. Edit to add a funny anecdote, my wife was actually keen to change her last name to mine. She hadn't bothered after her divorce, particularly because my last name is actually her mother's maiden name. This is true. My wife is a published author and artist. If she took my last name, she wouldn't have been able to reference those as hers anymore. Our adopted son has my last name. Edit, we were advised by our lawyer that she shouldn't take my name. I don't get how she wouldn't be able to reference them, they are still hers, just got to say, that was my maiden name. Don't change your name. The paperwork is easy for the change, but think about everything it will affect. Driver's license, passport, work documentation, eyes, retirement, bank accounts, credit card accounts, loans, gym membership and your Blockbuster card. I really hope this guy is somehow contacting us from an alternate dimension, where Blockbuster still exists. That dimension being 2012. Off topic, but this reminds me of something that happened when I was a kid. So I'm in church with my grandparents, about 10 years old, not paying attention as usual. I decide I want to go to the lake after church, so I ask my grandpa if he'll go with me, not mentioning what I meant. Yeah, turns out that was the exact part where the preacher was asking if anyone wants to come up to agree to be baptized. Next thing I know, I'm walking down to the front with my grandpa. He looked so proud of me, I couldn't back out then. So that's how I got accidentally baptized. Oh well, it's just water. Who sends videos without watching them? My cousins and everyone were tagging their step-parents. I watched the first 30 seconds, but didn't make it to adoption part. Short attention span. Imagine knowing that many people with stepdads. Over 50% of US families are remarried or recoupled. 50% of the 60 million children under the age of 13 are currently living with one biological parent and that parent's current partner. Source: maybe it sounds depressing, but I honestly don't know many people who don't have step-parents. The commercial in question. Holy fucking shit up. I wasn't ready for all the feels. This video completely destroyed me. This is the exact family dynamic that my fiancée had. Her stepdad, who she called dad, was in her life for 22 years and she always talked about asking him to legally adopt her, and was planning on doing it this Father's Day. He passed away 3 weeks before she had the chance to ask him. He was 49. Our kids will never have the chance to know him, and I know he would have been the coolest grandpa ever. He was a man I really respected, and would have been glad to have as a father-in-law. I guess I just want to say cherish every moment you have with your parents, because you never know when the last time will be. Adopt your dad, and he can change his name. Is this even possible? Can younger adults adopt older adults? Legally, it's possible. Morally, it's questionable. Personally, I like it. Would it be possible for me to adopt myself, even technically? Like, is there anything that specifically says that the person being adopted can't be the same person as the one adopting? Yeah, I'm not sure if there's a way to explain this without hurting anyone's feelings. Yeah, he can never know it was an accident. It's just ceremonial really, if I put my foot down on the name change. It isn't just ceremonial to him. It's a huge deal to feel accepted as your father. But you don't have to take his name. OMG, this is so frickin' funny. I assumed you were a 13-year-old kid, not a grown man. Raffle. I'm a woman, but I get it. I've laughed about it a lot too. 31 years old. If you're planning on getting married and taking a partner's name, that would be another name change. I liked your idea of a tattoo. Is your biological dad in the picture, and if so, how does he feel about this? He died 8 years ago of an odd, safe to say he doesn't care. I'm sorry about that. Make sure you actually like the name. I have had my stepfather's name for like 27 of my 30 years. There's pretty much no way I can change it. But my stepdad's last name is fucking awful. It doesn't flow with my first name either, which is also kind of shit. My biological father has a dope last name and gels much better. I've never said this to anyone, but deep down I want to switch back to my old name, but I know my stepdad would be devastated. So I have to live with the last name that I dislike, and don't even share any biological relatives with. Just marry someone with your old name, take their name, divorce them, keep the name. Problem solved. Instructions unclear. Married biological dad.